Word Traction podcast. This is your holiday edition, your almost 4th of July, DEI Fridays. And the title or subtitle is 60 Years for Nothing, Thanks MAGA and DJT. Because by any reasonable measure, we've only been at this American experiment for about 60 years since the Voting Rights Act, and we couldn't even make 60. How about that? Yay for us. We're fantastic. But we are where we are, and if we have to start over at zero, then we will start at zero because we're industrious and sometimes imaginative and innovative and the other things that some of us are some of the time. We can love our country and criticize it, to paraphrase or ruin a perfectly good quote by James Baldwin, that I love this country so much, I reserve the right to criticize her constantly, ruthlessly. And that's really where we are. The meaning of being an American, being a U.S. citizen, even if you want to narrow it down a little bit, is democracy once meant, before this current period of embarrassment, is the ability to criticize harshly everything about our democracy and our government. And we weren't going to get all up in our feels and our grievances about it if we get criticized. But, we've got an 80-year-old declining sovereign who is a little bit more sensitive as time goes by. At the same time, we have Stephen Miller of Jewish parentage and of California, Gavin Newsom state, originally, where Stephen came from, is marching our new fourth right into position. And as he was explaining on various legacy television platforms over the last week, that he was hinting at doing some sort of pelvic exams of arriving brown and black women, new arrivals to the country, to make sure that they weren't pregnant, and thereby participating in this fictional birth adventurism tourism thing that they're trying to frame out. It's another thing like election integrity that is, a solution looking for a problem. In this case, it's vile, reprehensible, racist. It is based on fear and hate and racism over the entire thing. But that's what they're all about. So what I wanted to do in the spirit of this holiday, which is all of it's all of ours. It doesn't belong to one particular part of our country. It is a celebration. Addresses going to 11 at night in 100-degree temperatures, 600,000 ballistic missiles being fired off and ruining the air quality in the district for weeks to come. If that's what being American is to you, go at it. God bless you. Or whoever's blessing, may they bless you this very tomorrow evening and keep you safe. It would be a good time to stay away from our nation's capital. But I want to give a little nod to our MAGA brothers and sisters, sometimes very close to one and the same. They also must be hearing footsteps as well, because now a vast majority of the American public is absolutely repulsed and disgusted by what we've become in the name of racial purity. It's never really worked out well, the whole racial purity thing. And that's why, many of the MAGA faithful are, well, let's just call them, let me overgeneralize. in a eugenics kind of manner, that many of them are of Northern European descent, like other crackers, not too far from here, right? Unhealthy skin tone. I don't get, the old redneck thing. I don't get my ass burnt as much as our white brothers and sisters down in Bama do. But that's just me. And I'm the smart boy that lived in Venezuela and Miami Beach for 30 years combined, and wasn't that fond of sunscreen, and I'm paying the price now. But let's look at our Northern European legacy for our dear friends in MAGA land, and maybe we'll look back to the Germanic people, because there's a beautiful through line to the birth of the Nazis and the Aryan race that goes through that. But that's, if we're looking at Germanic people, we're looking at 400 years before that supposed savior Jesus was even born. I mean, we're going back some way. And the Germanic practices and customs of people that lived in the Nordic region and in Germany, not surprisingly. One practice that I found appropriate for today's celebrations. We had this WWE, whatever the F it was, on the White House lawn, and the mixed martial arts, and the slur against Mrs. Obama, and all of that miserable part of Donald Trump's birthday celebration. But the appeal of fire and pyrotechnics comes into full focus on the 4th of July, because we want to buy enough fireworks to make sure a lot of young children lose a few digits in the process, because what's more American than blowing off your thumb with an M80 without adult supervision, or your parents are there, but they've been a few inches deep into the shine bottle for a few hours, so they're not providing what you would call adult supervision. Right, fine. So we have our Germanic tribes. One thing that they did before people started burying the dead on a regular basis in a ritualistic manner, they were doing a lot more burning. And this goes back to a lot of different, in the Hindu religion. If you think about the funeral pyre, right, that goes back for the Hindi. It also goes back for other tribes like the Germanic, and they would build these massive kind of a big send off, a big final flourish. Right, you're going out. We're building a fire. We're burning your remnants, and we're even including some toys for you to bring along into your next life. There were fewer plastics, so we're not worried about the EPA. Oh no, we don't have an EPA anymore. We weren't worried about the atmospheric impact on burning flesh and wood and other things, because this was an earlier time. This is not like your friends in various federal agencies now that are headed by kindergartners and pyromaniacs. So you imagine you're a person of some esteem within your Germanic community. They build a giant funeral pyre. They stack up the wood. They stack your body in there somewhere. They put a gun, a bow, some arrows, a knife, rocks. What else? Some I don't know, antelope bones or something. I don't know what they did back then. I don't really care, but I don't want to let details get in the way of a bad story. So you build it, you light it, and you wish your relative or friend or clanmate go off into the netherworld in a blaze of glory. And I thought that for our mega friends, they may want to reinstitute the idea of doing a funeral pile, because you save on burial expenses, right? It has the same sort of sexy sizzle as mixed martial arts on the White House lawn in a giant overkill fireworks display, and you're achieving another purpose. You're ending the life and the legacy of your MAGA relative or neighbor in a way to make sure that their vile biological material does not return to Earth in any substantial way, right? You're erasing the memory, quite literally, by setting it on fire. And I think that that's probably a perfect Fourth of July way to bond with our MAGA brothers and sisters by giving them the send off that they deserve in a way that would please their king and emperor, uh, uh, Mandarin Mussolini, because it's doing it big, right? You don't do it well, you don't do it smart, but you do it big. You go out with a bang. People remember you. Your legacy is that you blew up Washington. You blew up rule of law. You blew up all of the norms that we came to be accustomed. Not all good. Not a great legacy here, right? We have we have people that are once again under tremendous pressure merely because of the color of their skin, right? Content of character not taken into account if it's a black or brown person in the current regime. So we have to fix all that. It'll take time, but I just wanted to offer this as a way to honor our MAGA brothers and sisters on this 4th of July and give them an idea instead of spending a lot of money on those roadside fireworks things in South Carolina where you can get anything short of a thermonuclear device for $5.50 in a shot of shine. And try not to injure your neighborhood. But I want them to have something to think positively, have a forward looking approach as we start at zero again, because we don't deserve any better right now, but we can be hopeful, we can be optimistic, and we can start this July 4th in 2026 will be day one, and we can start over again, try to find a more perfect union. And maybe we put it on a time clock, give ourselves 5 years. And if we don't get it right, then we just return all the land to its rightful owners and we can get on boats and leave. Just an idea. Wishing you all a safe and healthy fourth if you participate in such things. I tend because I have a four-legged assassin that is not a fireworks fan. I tend to find ways to hide. In fact, I think his mommy is extracting him and bringing him to a safe space to make sure that he isn't tormented by silly drunk people with explosives. So, good idea for all of us. Another 100-degree day coming up in northern Massachusetts, which is, it's another day. It ain't raining. It ain't snowing. But yeah, you can wish your MAGA brothers and sisters if you think that they're a little bit hopeless or forlorn, you can just tell them that this is, we're a day -1 right now of the rest of time. This forget the biblical references, forget the end of days references. This is real time, not some cracker in a robe or worse, Clarence Thomas in a robe. This is real time, and we're going to start over again tomorrow night and build a more perfect union, be more inclusive, and not be an asshole. Tribute to other podcasters, not be a fascist, and try to be better people in this new year. So thank you, and restack, retweet, and wishing you all a safe and beautiful day. Thank you.